Hello everyone and welcome back to our European Journeyman series with Benfica as we finish our first season at the club, having already won a league and cup double. We now have the Taça de Portugal Placar final where we can seal a domestic treble, winning every Portuguese competition that we were in this season. A very, very good first season to the club. Getting knocked out of the Europa League was a bit disappointing, but we can finish on a high by winning this final. Now we've got a very strong team going out there. We're going to use our home formation. We've got Lincoln and Gaitan on the wings, joining Jimenez up front, who's got 41 goals, I think, now this season. Samaris, Horta and Kubas are the midfield trio, with Grimaldo, Jardel, Vallejo and Lindelof in at the back four. Alex Murray is back in goal for this game as we look to win our final piece of the treble. Well, fortunately the team look very motivated for this game. They've all been motivated and we should be in a good position. We are going to live com this final. We'll just let this intro play out because I don't think I've ever really watched one of these intros. I always skip them. There must be a way to actually turn them off, but I've never bothered to look. I think we have the kickoff as we have the home dressing room, and indeed we do, as Kubas plays it onto Samaris. We're going to look to absolutely dominate this game and hopefully get a goal very early on. And we've got a highlight inside 3 minutes. It's Horta forward to Gaitan, cutting in from the right flank. He's still going, Gaitan, but it's saved by Vanna Alves. Not bad effort there from Gaitan, who has been injured for a little bit towards the end of this season. He's back now, just in time. We've still got quite a long way to go in this match, but only one shot in the opening 20 minutes or so. And we're also not even controlling the possession as Firenze start to attack from the back. It's actually their first ever final in this competition as Samaris tries to find Gaitan. He has found him as well. He's running in on goal and strikes the post. So close to giving us a lead there. 22 minutes into the game. We are now level again on possession, and Firenze have the corner from Thiago Silva headed away. There's the ball back to Thiago Silva. He pulls it across and they're attacking from deep. Murray can only tip it into the back of his own net. It's Vita Bruno who's got the goal, and we have fallen behind nearly half an hour into this cup final. That is just not acceptable. We've been on excellent form in the last few games since beating Porto in the league on the way to the title, but we seem to be completely throwing this away. The team are just not in gear whatsoever. 5 efforts, only 1 on target. Firenze have better shooting accuracy than us at the moment. Jardel puts it over the top. There's Lincoln onto Samaris. Horta, can we get that late equaliser in the first half? Horta still going. He picks out Gaitan. 2 to aim at in the middle. Jimenez has put it over the bar. That was a sitter of a chance and he really should have scored it. And we are going to need to change things around in this second half. I'm really not happy at the team. They're going to get a very aggressive shouting at. But I'm also, I think, going to change the tactics to the Newcastle away formation. If we put a Jimenez there, Lincoln there, and take Gaitan off for Zegomez, that should help fix the team a bit. If we switch Kubas and Horta, that will help as well. And I think that should do the job in this second half. But we're still going to stay on the control mentality at the moment. We should have enough to come back and win this game without too much trouble. And now we're a bit more aggressive. There's a highlight early on as Grimaldo plays it into Lincoln. He puts it across to Kubas in the middle, who goes for goal and finds the bottom corner. The tactical switch making the difference just 5 minutes into the second half and bringing us back on level terms. A very good strike from Kubas. Shifted into that ball-winning midfielder role position, but he still managed to find the space to get a shot off and bring us back level. Nearly at the hour mark now as Horta has a free kick. He sends it to the edge of the area to Kubas. His shot deflects, ricochets around, and Jesus Vallejo is there to touch it into the back of the net and give us a 2-1 lead in this final. Grimaldo to Horta. Now Kubas. Forward to Lincoln into Zegomez, who makes it 3-1. We've turned on the style, the tactical change at half-time, making all the difference as we come back to storm into the lead. A very good performance from the team in the last 15 minutes or so. I'm just going to look to make a freshener. Maybe take Alex Grimaldo off and bring Arke on at left back. That should help the team. reduce the risk at least of a second yellow card and 10 men. I think we will have more than enough to see out this game. Fiorense threatened in the first half but have not troubled us at all in this second half. With just 15 minutes left to play, we are very much in control. Let's make one more substitution. If we take Horta off, maybe drop Lincoln into midfield. There's not really anybody we can actually bring on in those positions. Instead, let's maybe bring on Thiago Maia for Horta. That will probably do the job. Just 8 minutes left to see out. We're going to switch to a defensive strategy in the hope that that will do the job. Into the last minute of normal time. It's all over. We are definitely going to do the treble now. 3-1 up with just 30 seconds of the game to go. Samaris getting a unnecessary yellow card. It won't make any difference in our season though. It's a treble. We've won all of the major competitions in Portugal in our first season, and we're just waiting for these last few seconds to tick down. Where's this full whistle, ref? There it is. We've managed to win. The ticker tape's on the pitch. A 3-1 victory secures our domestic treble in our first season at Benfica. A very, very good first season as well. We barely lost at all throughout this season. A very, very good performance as well. It's the first time we've actually won that competition in about 5 years, so that's actually quite a good thing for us to have done. If we have a look at our competitions overview, we are the winner of all the domestic competitions. That defeat in the quarterfinals by Arsenal, somewhat disappointing, but we have more than exceeded the board's expectations. Very secure in our position now. Board confidence very high in all of the competitions except for the Europa League, but we'll be back in Champions League action next season. So there's quite a bit to look forward to next season, but given we've won all of the domestic competitions, I would like to know if you guys think we should stay in Portugal if a better job comes up, because if we take a look at the job security screen, you'll see that at the moment the Barcelona job is the most likely to go. Joachim Low could even go this season, and there's a chance I could get that job. I think if it comes up I will apply for it, because it'll be a lot easier to win the Champions League with a team like Barcelona. It would also give us a chance to go back and get some redemption in La Liga, maybe win that competition and knock it off our list. Not too many other clubs that I'm interested in. Athletic Club Bilbao, maybe the only other big one, but most of the other teams are doing okay. It is worth just taking a quick look at our old team, Valencia. They did manage to recover under Jurgen Klopp, and if we have a look at their senior squad competitions, you'll see they did manage to just squeak into 4th place ahead of Deportivo La Coruña, but they were 33 points off Real Madrid in the title race, which is just a sign of why we were never going to win the league with Valencia. It'd be almost impossible to do with Barcelona when Real Madrid are getting points totals like that. But they were knocked out of the Champions League in the group stage, didn't get past the first knockout round in the Europa League. Did win the UEFA Super Cup though, which is quite impressive. Who did they beat in the final of that? They beat Spurs in the final on penalties, so they managed to win another competition there, and also knocked out of the Copa del Rey by Sevilla. So not the best season for them, but they have secured Champions League football again at least. In terms of our team, if we have a look at the general appearance info, the selection info, you'll see our best performing players this season were the fullbacks. Alex Grimaldo getting a 7.61, a very good performance by him. He's now worth £20 million. He's a great left back who I want to hang on to. The same for Victor Lindelof, who's worth £22 million and usually plays in the centre. 7.54 rating for him though. Jardel did very well in defence as well, 7.43. He's 33 years old though now, and I want to make room for Mamana and Vallejo to become the future of the club in central defence. So Jardel could well be leaving the club this season. We also brought in Vallejo, Mamana, both playing about the same number of games, a couple of goals each and some more assists for Vallejo as well. But then there's Raul Jimenez with his 7.35 rating. He was a real star of this season. He's not even that good a striker, but he has had an exceptional time in the league. 27 goals in 32 games, 41 in all competitions. That is an incredible return from him as a player. 11 goals in 14 games in the Europa League was very helpful as well. Now, I'm not sure that he will actually stick around next season. If a good bid comes in for him, I'm not sure he's going to hold his £20 million value because he's just not that good. And I think there's a lot better players out there that we can sign. So if anybody's interested in him, there's a chance he could go. Lincoln, another world beater of a player, 7.34 average for him this season. He's got brilliant potential and will only get stronger the longer he stays. So he's not going to go anywhere. Horta was a rock in midfield. He's got a lot of very good potential, a good history in him as well at the club for the whole of his career. Hopefully he will stay and maybe go on to become the captain of the team. RK did well at left back as well. Lewis Cook in there as well, getting 27 appearances under his belt. We could do with freshening up the midfield, maybe letting players like Samaris go, Kubas go, if teams are interested. Zivkovic recovered in the second half of the season, did very well before his very long injury layout. Ederson had a falling out with me earlier in the season, so I'm not sure that he will stay particularly long. Even though he is another player who's been with Benfica a long time. He could also be leaving the club this summer. I am expecting quite a bit of change. I think the 2 matches we played against Arsenal showed that we are still quite a long way from being able to win the Champions League. So we're going to have to look at investing, and to do that we're going to need to sell players because the board have given me no money whatsoever. We've barely got any wage budget. So a few players are going to have to leave. Hopefully we get big bids come in for some players that aren't that necessary for the future. But we'll have to see what happens on that front in the next episode. Next time we will go through pre-season. We'll get up to the first match of next season. Now obviously if the Barcelona job does become available, I think... and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments, but I'm pretty sure I will apply for it. I'm not sure I'll get it, but I think it's too tempting a job to not be going for, and it's not sure how long it will be available or in this much insecurity. All the other big teams in Europe are pretty stable, so I'm quite happy to stay for a second season at Benfica. I don't think I want to stay for 3 because the league is not that challenging, and I expect us to win it even more by even more points next season, and having won all of the domestic competitions already, there's not a lot of reason to stay here other than European glory. So I think we'll give 1 season at the Champions League, bring in some big name signings and hopefully have a good run at it. But if that Barcelona job does come up, I will be applying for it, and I'll obviously let you know how that goes as and when that happens. But that is going to be it for this episode and this season. Drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed seeing us win the treble in Portugal, and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see what we get up to next season. But until next time, see ya.